Hi friends, I'm Victoria. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today is the start of a new reading vlog, but it's not Friday today, it is Tuesday, and this vlog is going to be a little bit different because we are actually traveling tonight. We're flying to LA, and then tomorrow we have a wedding on Catalina Island. So I wanted to bring you all along with me and Drew as we go on this vacation of sorts. We are making a full trip out of it. We're going to stay in LA for 6 days, I believe, or 5. Yeah, we come back Sunday, and I just wanted to do a vlog of our travel. And I'm going to read a couple of spooky books, some new releases, and then also just bring you along as we're traveling to LA. And then tomorrow as we go to Catalina Island. We've never been before. I'm very excited. It sounds so cute. All I know about it is from the Catalina wine mixer from Step Brothers, and I'm probably going to say that 700 times. So I'm going to try to restrain myself from the Catalina wine mixer talk. But yeah, I'm really excited. Our friends Lauren and Victor are getting married, and they're having a really cute, like, intimate ceremony on the island. So we are flying out. Our flight's tonight. I'm on my lunch break now, and our flight's at 8 p.m. So I think after work, I need to drop Jasper off at the Rover and then hopefully come back, shower, and head to the airport. And I think we're going to try to eat dinner at the airport. There's a restaurant called Root Down there, and they have some good vegan options. So if we have extra time, we usually try to eat dinner there. When we're at the airport, it's just nice and easy, especially because we'll be hungry when we're on the plane. But I have a couple of books on deck. I mean, this vlog is just going to be over a couple of days. So I have a short one that's new called Haunt Sweet Home by Sarah Pinsker. This one is a little easy short novella about this TV show that's like ghost hunters or like ghost adventures, where they go to houses and film a reality TV show and try to like make spooky stuff happen for the audience. And then I guess that there is actually a haunting at one of the houses. So yeah, this sounds easy. I love a haunting, you know me, and I also just love the like ghost reality show trope, so I'm into it. And then the next book is a new release that I'm so excited because I didn't plan on reading it in this vlog, or even this week, but it came available at my library and I got a notification for it and I borrowed it right then. I was so happy. And that's Such Lovely Skin by Tatiana Schlotbahn. I hope I'm saying that name correctly too. This is a new release horror, and it is about this girl who her sister has passed away. And our main character seems to be involved in her death some way, and no one knows how she was involved in it and was actually like the cause of her death. He's a Twitch streamer, and she ends up getting this new game, and the game, I guess, is like a spooky game. And in this game, one of the NPCs asks her for a secret, and she tells the NPC the secret about what actually happened with her sister. And then she starts being haunted by this like demon mimic, and that just like starts to ruin her life. It sounds really unique, really fun. It sounds a lot like Stay Alive, which is I talked about this in another video, which is a very cheesy early 2000s movie that I love. It's like so bad that it's good. I don't think this is going to be cheesy like that. I anticipate this to be really great. The reviews I've seen so far are awesome. So yeah, I'm really excited to give these both a read. We got one that's like a little bit more cozy and one that's definitely more of a horror. And yeah, I'm excited for it. But yes, I will bring you along with us throughout the journey. And I'm really excited to see Catalina Island. I can't wait, you know, just to celebrate our friends too in their wedding. And yeah, it should be a really good time. And I hope I get some reading done while we're at it. But I will update you once I have read a little bit and once we have done anything. Yes, we are in a different location, and I'm sorry if it's a little bit loud and a little bit rowdy. I'm at the airport, got through security, went to eat dinner at Root Down because they have some tasty vegan options, and yeah, just got back to our gate, and our flight starts boarding in 10 minutes. But let's talk Haunt Sweet Home because I am a little bit into it now. I started the audiobook while I was driving to drop Jasper off at the Rover. And basically we start off with this girl. She's kind of an outcast in her family, and she has this cousin who is the host of this TV show. It's called Haunt Sweet Home, and it's just like ghost encounters. They kind of go to people's homes, they talk to the people there, and they do all their experiments and they do trick people. And our main character, she ends up getting a job because of her cousin that's the host of the show, and she's just kind of like a runner for the show. And they're in Massachusetts, and they're going to different locations throughout Massachusetts to film in different houses. And so far, I'm about a third in, and so far she's, just helping out. They're staying at a motel. She has a roommate there. It's really just like her getting set up and just trying to make it through. Her cousin kind of sounds awful. Like, even though he got her the job, he's not interested in even spending any time with her or anything like that. Yeah, she's kind of learning tricks of the trade, and she's working night shift for the show, and they kind of film trickery things, like they'll put fog, and she'll like make sounds to like scare the people that own the homes, to get everything amped up. And they kind of talk about how even the employees often don't know when something's going to happen. They don't warn them about what they're going to do, just so that even the people that work on the show get surprised and act, have like a real reaction, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's been interesting. Nothing scary at all so far. It's really just about the reality TV show and our main character and her just, trying to make some money at this job. So I'm liking it. It's fine. It is super duper short. It's a novella, and I feel like I'm a third in. We haven't gotten anything spooky yet. It's just been a lot of setup. So I'm hoping that we get, some haunting stuff, like real haunting stuff happening soon. But yeah, that's how far I am into it now, and I'm gonna finish it on the plane, I'm sure. It's super short. But I will update you later once we land in LA. It's the next morning. We are up early. It's almost 7 a.m. We are on the road to head to the port to get on the ferry to Catalina Island for the wine mixer. So we're excited about that. Last night, good news about the flight. We landed a little bit early, and our row also wasn't full. So we got to spread out. Bad news is we had a screaming, crying, kicking baby behind us. So I don't think it was even a baby. I think it was like a toddler. But yeah, poor Drew really took the brunt of the kicks and had to move into the middle seat after a while. But that's okay. I did finish Haunt Sweet Home on the flight pretty early on. It's so short. And if you're looking for something that's kind of like cozy horror-esque, this might be a good one. You could read it in one sitting. And I will say it wasn't my favorite thing. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. It was okay. What ends up happening, I figured out what was going on. I looked, it was at 54% in, so I figured out what was going on. So I was like, okay. And I was like, for the rest of the book, I was like, okay, this is what's happening. And I was a little bit frustrated by it because it's just one of those tropes that I don't love. And I also feel like it kind of starts making it clear what's going on probably at like the 80-ish%, and you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And I will say, if you are looking for a haunted house book that's like not a standard haunted house book, this is that because it kind of goes into a different area. But overall, I like the idea of the movie and like TV set. I thought that was fun. We get like some fun like transcripts and a mixed media going on throughout the book, where we're getting like a readout of the transcript for this episode that they're filming, and they're in like this old library in this home, and our girl is like helping, you know, do spooky stuff and try to scare the couple that lives there, and just like little shenanigans. I will say that she's basically doing the same thing every day. Like, she gets up, you know, goes to work, gets breakfast, like helps out shooting, and then goes back home, and it's kind of like the same thing over and over again. So that kind of got a little bit boring, especially for a book being so short. I'm just like, how, I mean, it's not a book, it's a novella, but for it being so short, I feel like I shouldn't have gotten bored at any point. But anyway, I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, it's not my favorite thing, but I will say at the end there was kind of an interesting reveal with the haunting that I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And we also have our girl, you know, she's kind of struggling through life. She, at the beginning of the book, she was like, I've taken like a 10-year hiatus, or gap year, a 10-year gap year is what she said. And, you know, this job was kind of like an opportunity for her to like learn and find something maybe she was interested in. And she does have some growth throughout the book, so I like that. But overall, just okay. I didn't hate it, but I guessed what was going on way too early, and then for the rest of the book it kind of messed it up for me. You know how it goes. But I also feel like you might be able to figure it out too. I feel like it's one of those pretty obvious kinds of things. But then after I finished that, I started reading Such Lovely Skin, and so far I am loving it. I'm 30% in. Our girl, she starts off right off the bat, it's summer vacation. She's about to go back to school for her senior year, and she talks about in June how there was an accident, something happened, and she's blaming herself basically for the death of her little sister. And it's kind of, I don't blame her at all. Like, I don't know what she did, I don't know. And then part of me is like, oh, is she unreliable and she actually did do something horrible? I don't think so. I think she's just really struggling with the grief of losing her sister. What's crazy is that she's 17. Her parents like left her alone with her little sister. Her little sister was 3, and they left her alone to watch her while they like went and had like a couples like night out kind of thing, where they like stayed at a hotel, like they were gone the whole night. And I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know, that's, maybe don't do that when you have a toddler. That, like, I know that she's 17 and stuff, but I don't know, like something about that feels strange to me. And our main girl, she's a big gamer. She is on Twitch. She has like 30,000 subscribers, and she has quite a few people, like patrons, that pay monthly to watch her stream, so that's great. And she is very into it, but she had taken a break from twitching. Is that what it's called? She's taken a break from streaming on Twitch during, you know, just the grieving process the past couple of months. Watching her, she's like deciding to get back into it, and she goes online and is looking at these different games that are available, and she finds this one, and it's like a scary escape room kind of game, and she downloads it, and she just goes through, you know, the beginning. It asks her to tell a secret, and she ends up telling the secret of what actually happened to her sister, where she believes she did something wrong, that it's her fault. It seems like a haunting has started, and I think I mentioned I'm like 30% in, and we are already having lots of stuff going on. It's escalated a lot. We have, basically, we start out with these DMs that were sent from her Instagram account to other people, and she's like, I didn't send that, but I mean, that's exactly what I would say, but I didn't send that. And then we have pictures of her that she didn't take, and just like things spiraling. And, you know, with a synopsis, it says that there's a demonic mimic that is haunting her. So yeah, it's just like a ghost demon that looks just like her and is totally ruining her life, and, you know, just messing with her friends and her school and all kinds of stuff, and getting her in huge trouble. And already at the 30-ish% point, it's escalated a ton. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is this is not good. So I'm just really loving how fast-paced it is, and like really just how far it's gone already. And she I feel bad for this girl. I hope she gets this figured out, because some of these things I'm like, oh my gosh, I just can't imagine like someone thinking that I did that. So she's kind of like alone at this point. You know, people are mad at her for things that she's done, or her mimic's done. And she has this one friend who, he's like the goth rebel kid. His name's Ash, and they weren't really friends, but they've become friends, and he actually like believes like something's, you know, latched on to you. There's some kind of presence that is ruining your life, and they're starting to come to terms with like what's going down. And we are also getting these like really horror scenes where she's seeing these like creepy creatures. And yeah, so far the horror is there. I'm surprised, and I like the element of gaming, because we are getting these like walkthroughs of her on Twitch and like streaming and playing this scary game, and I love that so much. And also just like the talk of video games anyway. And I think I mentioned before, but it's kind of like Stay Alive, which is like one of those cheesy early 2000s movies where, you know, these people play a video game and it starts coming after them and picking them off one by one. And I love that movie. I'm a huge fan. It's so bad that it's good. And but I love that premise, and I haven't seen or read anything with that premise since then. So I'm really excited to see where this goes, because so far, loving it. So that's a plus. But we're on the road. We're about 12 minutes from the port for the ferry. It is, yeah, I said it's like 7 a.m. It's early, and the wedding is not till 2 p.m. So I just brought my clothes to change into, and I'm wearing, you know, a sweater and some shorts. But Catalina Island is actually supposed to be like in the 60s today, so it might be just a nice day. I think we're gonna get some brunch and just look around. We've never been. So yeah, I'll bring you along for the ride. I'll probably be able to read a bit more on the ferry. I think it's like an hour and a half, or like an hour and 15 minutes or something. So yeah, I'll update y'all later. everybody, it is the nighttime now. We are back in LA. We're at our hotel. We had a full day. I'm exhausted, not gonna lie, but the wedding was so fun. We took the ferry over, and the ferry was a little over an hour, and we saw some dolphins, which was so cool. And then yeah, got off, walked around the island a little bit. It's so small and tiny, just like the little shop area. It was just so cute. And yeah, we walked around, got some vegan banana nut bread, got a bagel with like just egg and impossible sausage and vegan cheese, and it was super good. And yeah, just moseyed around, went into some shops and piddled and bopped around and had fun until the wedding. And the wedding was at 2. Well, there was a cocktail hour at 2, and then the ceremony was at 3. And then after that, it was, food, drinks, and everyone just hung out. And then everything was over at 5 for them to all head back to their cruise ship, because I think I mentioned, but most of the people for the wedding are on a cruise, but we didn't do the cruise. So they left for the cruise on Monday, and then they're cruising through Friday. They dock back in Long Beach on Friday. So, but yeah, we didn't do the cruise. For one, we're working from the hotel tomorrow and Friday. So yeah, that was like one of the main reasons. And also I don't think I'm a cruise person. I don't think it's for me. But yeah, we had a big day. We got back on the ferry, and that left the island at 6 p.m. And yeah, a little over an hour. And then we drove back from the port. That took like 30-40 minutes. And yeah, now we're back at the hotel. It's like 8 p.m. We're super tired. I got up at 5 a.m. this morning because I had to wash my hair. So I'm like struggling, not gonna lie, and my ankles might never recover. The shoes that I was wearing, I've worn them on trips before and it's been fine. And I don't know if my feet are just swollen or what, but my right ankle, my right heel she's struggling, I swear. but yeah, so we came back to the hotel. I put on some jeans because it's a little bit chilly at night. And then yeah, I'm gonna put my sneakers on, and we're gonna walk to this bar called Beelman's, I believe. I think it's like a 10-minute walk or 7, like less than that. And they have a ton of vegan food. So we're gonna chow down, have some good food, and then come back and go to bed, because we both have to work in the morning. And I know I always say it, but most of my office is on Eastern time. So I'm gonna be waking up early. I'm gonna be waking up at 7 a.m. here. But that's good. I'll be off early, and we'll be able to do stuff, in the afternoon. So that's good. But yeah, I did finish the book on the ferry. On the ferry there, I got like 70-ish% in almost. And then I read the rest of it on the way back. And I have lots of thoughts. I'll update you later. We're about to leave to go get food, but I'll update you when I get back tonight, because I have lots of thoughts about this book. And honestly, I was almost like in tears for a lot of it. It's just like really sad. And just like it was really getting to me. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and we'll chat a little bit more about that in a second. We're gonna go get food. I'll update you in a little bit. Hi everyone, it's the next day. I know I said I would update you last night, but we went to eat and I came back and it was a struggle for me to even wash my face. But yeah, last night we ended up going to this bar called Beelman's. They had so much vegan stuff. We got some vegan chicken wings and like buffalo wings, and they were so good. They were like the vegan wings with like the fake bone inside. So it's always fun when you get those. And then we also got some tachos. So yeah, like loaded tots. Delicious. And they were playing Training Day, so we just like sat and ate and watched Training Day for a while until I was like, I'm going to pass out. So then we came back, I washed my face, and I went straight to bed. But let me go into such lovely skin. I love this book. Honestly, this book was an emotional roller coaster. It's really dark and heavy, and when I was finishing it on the way on the ferry back yesterday, I was truly struggling, like trying to not cry, because man, it's kind of brutal and really so sad. And if I was reading this at home, I would probably be like sobbing. But I was just really struggling to like zone out a little bit and be like, don't cry, don't cry. But so good. I really loved it. I'm not going to give it 5 stars. I think I'm going to go with 4.5. This feels like you're watching an early 2000s horror movie, but as a book, and I love that so much. I have such a soft spot in my heart for early 2000s horror film, and it's some of my favorites. So yeah, it just gave like The Ring, Silent Hill, Stay Alive, like I've mentioned before, and yeah, I love that so much. The pacing was really good. There was one part where I had a bit of a lull, but then it started picking back up again, and I'm kind of shocked just how far this goes when it comes to like what this demon mimic is doing to her and her family and like the people around her. It really just goes to the next level. And you know, a lot of times with books I'm like, I just feel like it didn't go there. Well, no, this one definitely does. And it's pretty intense. And I've loved our characters. I mean, they're in high school, so you know, you would expect some teenage drama kind of thing, and you don't really get that here. They seem really mature. They're making these like thought out choices throughout. When we do have like a resolution or the ending, I do feel like it was a bit convenient, or like, I guess, easily resolved in a way to where I was just kind of like, oh yeah, that was kind of easy and simple, but it makes sense for the overarching theme of the book and just like about grief overall. And yeah, I really loved it. I think it's fantastic. If you like video games and like Silent Hill and like just spooky horror games in general, you will enjoy this. I will say that the video game talk does dim down a bit. Like it's more prominent in the beginning of the book, but that's okay. I did really enjoy those parts, but it does dim down a bit as it goes on, as they're just trying to, you know, stay alive. But our poor girl, she goes through it in this one for sure. I felt so bad for her and her family, and just like them going through such hardship because of this demon and just making their lives horrible and so much more worse. And it's a struggle because no one believes her, because it's like they saw her doing these things, but it's not her. And she's like, it's not me. And you know, normally I'm like, no one believes her, that's annoying. But that's kind of like the whole point of this book with a mimic, is like, well, obviously they're not going to believe her because they saw with their own eyes her doing these things, and there's like no way around it. So yeah, it's really interesting, because it's just like, how is she going to fix this and like convince people that she didn't commit these awful atrocities against like everyone in her life. Yeah, it was kind of shocking in places, and I am surprised at how scary and creepy some of these scenes were. We do get a scene where like the demon is like crawling out of the computer screen, which is very much like The Ring, and I thought that was so fun. And yeah, the visuals of the demon overall, I really enjoyed. We do get a little tiny tinge of romance here, but it's very minimal. And there were also a couple of areas where we kind of would get a little bit of comedic relief, which I appreciated. But yeah, the ending, a lot. It's heavy. And we're learning more and more as the book goes on. We're getting kind of these flashbacks of what happened the day that her sister passed away, and each time like she's going through that, and like you're getting the little bits and pieces and putting it together, like each time it's just like sad, so sad. And because you know what's going to happen, but you're still kind of like, you don't know what exactly went down, and you're just like, was it something bad? Was it really her fault? Like, who's to blame? Was it just a tragic accident? And yeah, it's kind of brutal, honestly, and her whole family is just struggling. But in the end, I love the ending. I think it wrapped up beautifully, and it was so sad, and it was interesting to see them like kind of come out on the other side of it. And yeah, overall, I loved it. I think it had a lot to say, and I really just appreciated the book overall. And it was very different. Like, I feel like as far as horror goes, I hadn't read anything like this. And even when it comes to like books about grief, this one was pretty unique, and I just felt like it had so much good to say. And yeah, I highly recommend it. Give it a go, especially if you like spooky horror games, if you like early 2000s horror movies. I think you'll really enjoy this and get it a lot. So yeah, I loved it, and you should definitely pick it up and give it a try. I'm gonna close out the vlog here. I think this vlog is just gonna be like a shorter one with these couple of books and just our traveling to LA and a day on Catalina Island. And then I'll start a new one for the rest of our trip in LA, and that'll be the next vlog after this one, so stay tuned for that. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. If you like bookish content, please subscribe, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That helps me a lot, and I will see you in the next one, and I hope you have a great spooky rest of your day.